Hello there everyone. I'm going to do a video that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, and that is a continuation of a video I did a while back. Some of you might remember that I did I found a couple of old hit charts from the past that I made when I was younger, and I showed them with single sleeves and everything. What I liked, the top 20, or what I liked of a certain year back then, and I did 1988 then, and I know that there was someone who requested me to do 1989, and unfortunately I can't find that I did any of the top 20 for 1989, so unfortunately I can't do that. I don't think there exists top 50 for 1989 made by me back then. But, and I have hard time finding various, so you might forgive if they take a little while between these videos. It's I have hard time digging and finding. I have a lot of them from the late 90s and the 00s, but I guess that the earlier they are, the more interesting they are also. But if there's someone who wants to see what I liked back in 1990, 94, 95, 96, 97 and so on, give me a note in the comment section. But for now I found a hit chart from 1990, the first year of the 90s. Back then I was 15 years old, going 16. I started high school or gymnasium. It was the first year that I started that, and had a musical taste that was a lot of what was popular on the hit charts. You will most likely recognize a whole lot of names here, a whole lot of singles here, and as in 1988, there's a whole lot of female artists here. I had a fling for female artists, that is pretty obvious. On the other side, there are a very low part of male artists here. So I had a top 50. I'm going to reveal the top 20 and some interesting titles outside of top 20. We had as number 48 Adamski with Killer, the breakthrough single for Seal, this is most known for today. We have as number 45, I don't understand how I can have this song so lower down. If it was today I would have it a whole lot higher, and as I loved it back then, I was surprised to see that I put it so lower in the chart actually. I will also say that each and every song of this, of course, I still think is good today. But there are some songs that I wonder how I actually placed them. I would place them in another order today. And this is one of them. I placed this one a whole lot higher. Go West, King of Wishful Thinking from Pretty Woman. I was really happy because I was a huge fan of Go West back in the 80s. When they returned to the hit charts briefly in 1990 with this song, I was very, very happy to see her Go West again. We have, for you Americans, a familiar name at number 41, Wilson Phillips, Hold On. We have a very interesting name at number 34, Dusty Springfield with Reputation. A song that originally actually is a cover from a song by Scottish singer Brian Spence, who made it on his album. And Dusty Springfield had a return where she did the song In Private, and Nothing Has Been Proved, both produced by Pet Shop Boys. So just so it's very interesting, just so they could get hopefully new success when they didn't have Pet Shop Boys along for all the titles on their In Private album, a Reputation album. They made a production sounding similar to Pet Shop Boys. They sound very much Pet Shop Boys of this Reputation, which is why I did really love it. However, interesting is that In Private itself, who is produced by Pet Shop Boys, is not on the top 50 chart. We have at number 33 Bangles with their final single for a whole lot of years, Everything I Wanted. We have at number 30 two artists that I like, Lil So. Together they actually made one of the best songs in their careers, UB40 and Robert Palmer, and I'll Be Your Baby Tonight. We have at number 35, favorite, Blue Pearl, Naked in the Rain. So, those were a bit outside of the chart, but to give some nostalgia feeling, to lead you into 1990. We take some other tracks before that were popular back then. Now, starting at number 20, we have a Swedish single. There are some Swedish titles here that you might get interested in, that you might scratch your head and wonder what is this. At number 20 we have a couple of sisters that made huge success this year, and it was much thanks to this single. I'm talking about Swedish sisters Lili och Susie, and the single What's the Color of Love, a real bubblegum pop hit that was popular back then, and I actually liked it. I have two versions, two single sleeves of this one. We have at number 19, here we have a single that was the biggest hit for a band that I think they were pretty big in USA before that, and I'm shown them before, unfortunately not all that much as I should, because they're really good. I'm talking about Dan Reed Network and their biggest hit here in Sweden, Rainbow Child. And I actually didn't know it. It struck me when I saw the single. It's actually produced by Nile Rodgers. I had no idea about that. Number 18, a single that I actually don't have yet. Hope to find it one day. So I'm showing the album. It is a single by Madonna, and it is from the Like a Prayer album, Dear Jessie. One might think that didn't this single, this album come out in 1989? But I think the single was. It is a doubtful line that that counted as 1990 back then, but I think that it went into the Swedish hit charts the very first weeks in 1990, and therefore it is on the 1990. And for all you Madonna fans, I guess Adam, there are other Madonna singles on this chart. At number 22, Vogue, and we have at number 27, Justify My Love. Why Vogue only at number 22, you might ask? I don't know. But I think I liked Vogue, but I think I thought that Dear Jessie was even better back then. Number 17. Here we're coming to another woman, one of the most gorgeous women alive. I'm talking about German Sandra and her big single then, Hiroshima. single I remember I bought actually new when it came out in 1990. At number 16, another one that I actually thought would be higher up, because this was really one of my favorite songs back then. But I guess that this was made, of course, at New Year's Eve. The song was released in the beginning of the year and lasted here in Sweden through almost the entire summer. So I guess back in New Year's Eve, I have grown a bit tired of it. But still, it surprises me that it isn't on the top 10 at least. Hearts, All I Wanna Do Is Make Love to You. From the Brigade album that I remember I bought in Malmö during the summer when I was at a school trip to Copenhagen. And when we stopped at Malmö to then take the boat to Copenhagen and back, I bought this one in a record store in Malmö. Back then in 1990 we didn't have a bridge over to Copenhagen or to Denmark. We have at number 15. This is a song that I also thought would be a bit higher up, but it is a really great song, a forgotten hit that I liked so much. I heard it in Swedish Tracks chart in radio, and really loved it from the beginning. And it didn't become a hit here in Sweden, of course, but still I loved it. Ice House, Touch the Fire. At number 14, we have a ballad, a Stock Aitken Waterman cover of an old 60s. That is not all that unusual. They did so many times. This is the only CD single actually I'm going to show. Sonja's and Skeeter Davis, End of the World. Really cute and great ballad. Number 13, we have one of the biggest hits here in Sweden at least. Nick Cayman, I Promised Myself. By far the best song that Nick Cayman has ever done, and it's much to the production that is really great. Number 12, of course, we're gonna have some Pet Shop Boys when they released a great album called Behavior. And one of the biggest hits from that album here in Sweden was Being Boring. Number 11. Here is a song that I definitely wonder what it actually does here at the 1990, because this one was released and was climbing the charts in Sweden already back in 1989. But back then I didn't think it like that. The tracks chart was my my Bible, and back then it was a hit of most of 1990. I think it was 1 week in 1989. So as it was most of the year on the charts in 1990, I counted it at 1990. But of course today I would count it at 1989. Do They Know It's Christmas with Band Aid Part 2, the Stock Aitken Waterman version. But I still think it's really good actually. But it's in the wrong year. We're coming into top 10. The Hooters, Give the Music Back. Still a fantastic track that the lyrics, actually I think the lyrics is almost it works with today's music as much as with the music back then. It's a little dystopic, a little black song about how music is put behind bars and so on, and I think it matches today. Number 9, the band I showed in number 20, Lili and Susie, and their follow-up single called Boyfriend. Yet another bubblegum disco song, produced by some members of Secret Service, a huge Swedish band in the 70s and 80s. At number 8, a song that I don't have on vinyl single yet, so I'm showing the compilation Greatest Hits album with that artist that the song is on. Belinda Carlisle, We Want the Same Thing. And we have at number 7 more Pet Shop Boys. The first album from Behavior, So Hard. We have at number 6 a Swedish artist that I mentioned a couple of times here that I really loved, still do. I really loved this song when it came out in 1990. Titiyo and Flowers. Great singer from her debut. Number 5, more Swedish. The Swedish, maybe the most famous name in Swedish pop. Maybe the exception from Roxette. Carola. And she released an album called Much More that were both in Swedish and it was in English, and it was in mishmash of different kind of styles, and it was an okay album but not the best. But they had a single that I really loved that just oozed soul disco style, and it was a single called I Live. Totally forgotten today, but it was a minor hit in Sweden back in 1990 in the autumn. Number 4, another song that I don't have on vinyl single yet, so I'm showing the compilation from the band that this song is on. A controversial band that became controversial even before they had their breakthrough, actually. I'm talking about Swedish group Army of Lovers, and they released a single called Supernatural that didn't become a hit at all here in Sweden. But still, when I heard it the first time, I thought that, hey, what a magnificent production, what a mysterious and really great production and song. So I put it up at number 4. The breakthrough wouldn't come until 1 year later, 1991. But this is their compilation, a compilation I should say, that song is on. And at number 4 it is a single version. The album version of Supernatural sounds totally different and much worse. Number 3, we have a song that I got in Christmas present this year. A song that I fell in love with for the very first time. KLF, What Time Is Love. I'm going to do a video where I talk more specific about this single and back then. But it is at number 3 and definitely one of my absolute favorites this year. At number 2 we have Depeche Mode and World in My Eyes. The third single from Violator. Fourth. Since Personal Jesus came in 1989, it's almost like you forgot that song actually is from Violator. A really great and Depeche Mode, typical Depeche Mode song that I really love. And want to know what other places we have Depeche Mode in? We have Enjoy the Silence at number 23. And we have Policy of Truth at number 36. The single I bought at the same time at the Heart album in Malmö, as I said before. Bought both this and Brigade. So, the winner. Which song was the best song of 1990, as I thought back then. It is the Swedish singer Louise Hofsten and her single Yeah Yeah, a single I bought just recently. It is a fantastic song, lot of rock style and with horns and a really fun lyric. However, I don't think that I would have it at number one today. I think that it would be a little bit lower today. I think definitely that today I would have World in My Eyes as number one. But that was then, and I placed Louise Hofsten as number one with this song. So that was my 1990. An interesting year. I think those first years of the 90s are very interesting because it is a time when it stands with one foot in something old and another foot in something new. We have still some synthesizer style, you have some late 80s feeling over the melodies, and still trying to catch up with something new like modern dance style and so on, and it goes even further in 1991 with a lot of 80s style mixed with something new, and I really like that because then it produced so much great music. Then the 90s style took over more and more, and the 80s was faded out, but that's another story. So until next time, I hope that every one of you have a really nice time, no matter where you are, no matter what you do. Take care and so long.